Okay, I think that I am here, and that's okay. So here we go. So, hello everyone. This is Friday, March the 10th. I had to look at the calendar, and it is 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And normally, you would be over at Handmade by Ying with Donna's channel on Friday after Becca is off, but Donna is away right now with family, and she asked if I would so graciously do a live stream for her. Oh, hang on. Lord have mercy. Knows this camera ain't going to work. Hang on. Let me see. No, I want live. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let me get this camera straightened out. Let me get the camera straightened out. I don't know what happened. And then things are happening. Oh, hang on. Okay, how do I switch this? There we go. I got it. Look at me. I got it. It wouldn't be an episode of Tucker Sewing and Quilting without technology issues. Isn't it wonderful? So, I am here filling in for Donna. She's in the chat, and we're just going to have a good time. So, um, let's talk about the elefante in the room. Things look just a wee bit different. I forgot to turn my light off, but I will turn that on once I wind some bobbins. But things do look a little bit different around here, and I think they're changing for the better. Um, when I took my 2-week hiatus last week, I spent 2 weeks up at my grandma's house, just spending a lot of good quality time with her. And when I came back from her house, I decided something needs to change a little bit. So I rotated my long arm 180 degrees so that when we're doing live streams like this, you can see the amazing bookshelves back here. So now you can see all of my fabric, some of the fabric I have for sale, all this wonderfulness in the background instead of the hot mess express that was the desk back there. Because I am a person that I do use my desk, and when I'm busy working, it gets pretty junky. So things have switched around. Some new equipment has been added, but that is all for the better. Yes. Donna says, your studio looks fabulous. Well, thank you so much. Love the color behind you. Yes. So this will brighten up my lives a little bit, and it'll be awesome. Oh, Isaac just came down here. Say hi.
Hola.
He says hola. I don't know if the mic could pick it up. So, what else? So yeah, let me just read some people who are in here. We have Mona did what? We have no Emmy R says hello. Hey, how are you? We have Brenda Foley. Guess who? Nancy. Mary Jane Ellinger. Irish Lady 1. Good evening, Tucker and fellow quilters. Yes, we are going to have a good hour or two of fun, and it's just going to be a relaxing evening. So put your pajamas on, get your beverage of choice, and get ready to get some quilting done. Okay, let me put this on. All right. Oh, hang on, I'm jumping here. We have Melissa LePage in here. We have Teresa Louise, I Quilt Too. And we have Handmade by Ying with Donna. We have Janine in here. We have Brenda Humison. I know I butcher some names on here, and that's what's fun about it. You never know who's going to pop in the chat. We have Sue and a lot of other people. So I know Becca was on just a couple minutes ago, and I'm sure she directed a lot of people over here. And if you're new, welcome, and we're going to have a good time. So what are we going to be working on tonight? As many of you know, speaking of Donna, I should say, over the past couple of weeks, me and Donna have been working a project together. Donna has been leading it, and I've been trailing along behind Donna as usual. But we have been working on a foundation paper piecing pattern by Violet Craft, and that would be the elephant pattern. And I'm just going to switch cameras a minute so you can get, oh, that's right, my my GoPro cut off. Hang on, because I wasn't using it. That's what I get. So while that cuts back on, it was the fabulous elephant pattern by Violet Craft. So you can sort of see it there, and we will be working on that as the night goes on. And I'm just stepping off here a second because this thing is deciding not to work. As usual. Okay, unplug. That's what you do here. You just unplug, and that solves everything. Okay, let's talk about this right now. It's going to go. So we have Delia in here. Hello, Delia. We have Susie in here saying, wow, your studio looks amazing. Thank you so very much. I do appreciate it. Another reason that I wanted to do the studio the way that I wanted, the way that I did it per se, is that it will hold me more accountable to keep this in check. Because before there was just fabric everywhere and it was just looking a hot mess express. And I don't want to be coming on here with everything looking a mess. So you guys are going to help me keep myself in check. So another thing, Donna said, love the shirt, LOL. Yes, I was talking with Donna today and she's like, what did you ever do with that shirt that I gave you? I'm like, what shirt are you talking about? She's like, the squirrel shirt. And I said, I have no idea. So I ran upstairs and was rooting through the boxes that I still have not unpacked yet. And lo and behold, this shirt appears. So I am wearing a shirt today and it says, it's a squirrel thing you wouldn't understand. My motto. Because my brain does have squirrel moments. So luckily, if this does not work, I do have camera in another position that we can use. Okay, it does cut back on. So we have Patricia in here saying howdy, howdy. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now let me get this on the right way. This is like playing Jenga. Have y'all ever played that game? It makes my mind hurt. And then I get mad when it falls down. We have Sean from The Guy Who Sews in here. Good day, Tucker and everyone else. Hello to you, Sean. Okay, this should be working now. Should be is the key word. Okay, keywords here. Nothing too exact. Okay, let me plug it in. That's all we can do. Plug it in and hope. Hope for the best. Maybe. Isaac, can you plug this in? See, this is what I have Isaac for, to help plug things in. I think it goes in the bottom one. Okay. Yep, it's good. That's working. Okay, it's working. Thank goodness. It'll be all right. So, what else can I talk about? Oh, we have Sewing Sensations by Shady Susan in here. Hey, hey. And Donna is dropping Susan's link. Thank you so much. Also, I want to talk about, and I know Donna will drop it. Some of you remember that I quilted a quilt for Donna, and it was the koala quilt. The quilt has been in progress on Donna's end for over a year, and it was actually pieced on 5 different sewing machines. Can you believe that? So Donna pieced this when she would go away to friends' houses or on retreats, and she graciously gave it to me on the retreat in December to quilt up for her. It took me about a month and a half, 2 months of on and off custom quilting time to get this quilt done, and it turned out absolutely fabulous. So with all that being said, me and Donna did put the koala quilt in the Sewing Machines Plus virtual quilt show. So if Donna will pop the link in there, you can vote 2 times a day, every day for 3 more days. I'm pretty sure. Donna will have to let everyone know in the chat. So let me have a look see at this. Make sure it reset. Okay, we'll get there. So let me switch the camera around and we get to look at that for a minute. We get to look at all of the why this, not that's that I recorded on this thing. Look at that. Okay, there we go. See, things work when you just, I don't need that one. I think that was the problem. The power cord, it was overheating it. Just leave it lay. It'll be all right. So here we go with this. So I was planning on basting this quilt beforehand, but I got a little sidetracked. As usual, a squirrel ran by. So let's talk about this a little bit. So this is the upper fourth of the elephant. You can see its little eyeballs right here. But this right here is part of the ears. This section is part of the trunk, the other ear, and then this is the awesome background that I picked. I was actually going for more of a red background, but the lighting in the quilt store, when we picked the fabric out, it was red, and when we left the quilt shop, it was this orange color. And I'm so glad that this orange color came home with me, because I actually think I like this more than I would have if I would have chose a red. So this is what I got, and I would have basted this on, but like I said, I got sidetracked as usual. So we're going to baste this, and actually it's sort of a blessing in disguise because of this being a foundation paper piece pattern. With foundation paper piecing, you always, I'm going to switch cameras because this is important, always have bias on all around your edges. That's why we say that it's so important that you don't take the paper out of your foundation paper piecing projects, say that 10 times fast, until you have the whole entire quilt together. And then when you do, you need to sew a stabilizing stitch 1/8 of an inch around the perimeter. So let me switch again and just give you an example. So right here, where my finger is, I know you can't see it because of the lighting. Right here. There we go. That's better. Right here is the intended edge of the quilt. And I have added a 5-inch unfinished border to this. So I'm just going to move this to the side so I can show you. The way that my hands are positioned is the straight of grain, meaning the fabric is woven parallel to one another. This is the straightness of the outside. So what that means is this seam right here, if I stretch on this, can you see how inside here it's stretching like that? When you're putting bias onto a long arm, it has tendencies to stretch, and especially if you're like so proud of your work and you're showing this off, holding the quilt up like this, hang on, holding the quilt up like this will actually stretch your quilt out. And I've seen quilts have a couple inches of extra because of showing the quilt. So that's why we say to put like a stable stitch around everything once you take your paper out, or you can add a thinner extra border just to keep all of that bias contained. So even when you put borders on, you are still going to have this right here. This is only about 3/8 of an inch of extra fullness right here. And I'm going to give you some tips while I'm loading this on how to keep your quilt square and how to ease that fullness in. Because if you stay ahead of the fullness, then you can conquer anything. So the first thing I want to say is, what color backing did I use? So this color right here was actually the last color to come in the mail. Oh, I'm like, what's that red light? It's my laser. This color here, this blue, was actually the last color to come in the mail. And I really, really like this color. It's something about this color to me that I really, really like. And it's opposite of the color wheel, I think. I don't know where mine is, of orange. Or it's pretty close. Or it's in the trifecta of opposite of the color wheel. So I was crazy And I knew that I was going to be quilting the background in neon orange thread. So I picked this baby blue backing to match that blue color. Next, I want to talk about batting choice. And I'm going to switch cameras for this because this is important. Now, hang on, let me think about this. All right. When it comes to quilts that have a lot of bias in them, of course, there's going to be some type of, I'm just watching Isaac watching me. There's going to be some type of extra fullness within your quilt. Now, cotton batting will work great. It will take up some of that fullness. 80-20, same thing. But polyester batting has a higher loft, and the higher loft batting you have, the more fullness it takes up. It's because when you take a stitch, it really nails everything together, and then there's a lot of in-between space for extra fabric to fall. So that's why when I get a quilt with a lot of extra fullness in it, I like to recommend a puffier batting. And then they're like, wow, you can work magic. And I'm like, it's not me, it's just the batting. So that's why I chose the batting that I did. Oh my gosh, and you can see the zit on the side of my face over here. He's been living there for a couple of days now, and I can't get rid of him. So never mind that. So let me switch to another camera view. And see, look at these new camera angles. So another thing that I look at when I'm loading a quilt is I always stitch a straight line using my channel locks the whole way down the length of my quilt. But once I get this stitched, the straightness of the top, there's no representation in this quilt in particular to line up. So normally what I do is stand where you are, and I look down the length of my machine to make sure that the seam that falls on this belly bar is laying straight. I straighten this seam out, and whatever extra fabric I have created in here, because of straightening this out, I always take that up somehow. If I was to pull it down and make this not straight, I'm going to get a wonky edge on the bottom, and that's not what I want. So I'm always finding a way to make sure this is straight. When I'm working this quilt, I'm looking at it now, and this is normally how I work. I figure things out as I go. Right now in this trunk, I'm going to switch cameras again. In the trunk right here, you can see that there's this straight line right here. This is only about a 17, no, it ain't even that, a 12-inch strip of straightness. But once this is on the belly bar, I can gauge how straight the rest of the quilt is, and it'll go off without a hitch. So, let's see. Put milk and a small piece of bread on the zit. Oh my gosh. That'll be all right. I eat enough bread. I love me some butter bread. I needed me a drink. Alrighty. Yep, up to March 15th for the Down Under quilt, 2 votes a day. Yes, thank you so much, Donna. So, oh, see, I'm doing the wrong thing. For someone who's supposed to know how to work a phone, half the time I get it jacked up anyway. So I'm going to get started on this basting. I already talked for 21 minutes. We're going to be on here all night. So I am going to change my feet because right now, if I can find it, right now I have the open toe foot on because before I left for Grandma's, I was working on the Enchanting Stars quilt by Jacqueline Dijon. And actually, if you didn't know, she's going to be at Richmond, Virginia in the next couple of months. So I wish I would be able to go to that, but unfortunately, I won't be able to. So I just switched out my feet, just that quick. So, and my camera just shut off. That's nice. I want you to see right here, up here at the top, that my straight line is not lined up. So I'm actually going to line this up. And what I'm going to do is come down here to the edge, turn this camera on and off in case I need it. And I'm going to stick a pin in this to hold this into place. So now you can see right here is this ripple I was talking about, but everything else within my quilting area is laying super duper flat. So I know that the problem is out here in this bias edge. And this is okay. This is about, this is about a half an inch of extra. And I'm going to show you how I take that up. So when you know that there's extra fullness in your quilt, or you can see the extra fullness, always, always start and quilt from your belly bar up when you're basting. And I have my machine set at about 8 stitches per inch. And I'm trying to debate whether I want to put my clamps on. I don't think so. So what I'm going to do is put the channel lock on. Oh. And I'm going to take a couple security stitches. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pressure in front of the nose of my machine. Here's all of your machines have it, all of your long arms. Here's the side of your machine running the whole way back to the motor. But then in front of your needle, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, it's where the nose of your machine is. So you're just going to put pressure in front of the nose of your machine. Put pressure, stop, readjust. Hang on, I need to switch my stitching modes. Oops, wrong one. You're just putting pressure in front of that, and I'm going to move some of this fullness down so you can see it. So you see here how there's this little bit of bubble, and I want you to watch how as I apply pressure, it takes in that extra fullness. Just applying pressure, straightening everything out. Stopping every so often, just sort of adjust everything, even it out. And sometimes, like right now, I'm going to be honest, I'm sort of freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe there was too much fullness in this border, and I'm lying to these people. But there's many ways to skin a cat. So if there's extra fullness in your border than you thought, and this pressure isn't working, what I like to do is just take my thumb or my pointer finger and pull the fabric forward. I like to press or pull on that pre-stitched line, and that just helps take up even more fullness. So as you can see there, I'm coming up to the pin, and I'm not stitching over it, and there it is. So I'm gonna, I wish I had like a free camera. Maybe I do. Hang on a second. Let me go in here and add a scene. Okay, hang on. It'll be black for 1 second until I add my phone. But I really want you to see this. Oh, wait. Hang on. Oops. See, I don't even know how to work it. Video, add a new one. Okay. Phone, here we go. Come on. All right, let's see. Oh, it won't work, of course. Oh, resume. Hang on, I gotta log off of that. There we go. Okay, it's a little small, but I think I can fix that real quick. Transform and fit to screen. There we go. Okay, so I'm doing this because I don't want you to get motion sick, but you can see right here that along this edge, it almost looks rippled, but it's not. Once you quilt this, this will disappear. If your fabric looks rippled like this, as long as there isn't a pleat in it, when you are quilting, it won't stitch a pleat. So if you have, I'll call it puckering, but it's not like this, don't worry about it. It will be all right in the end. Okay, let me switch back. Wrong one. There we go. See, look at technology. Isn't it great? All right. So I'm going to take this pin out and put it back so I don't drop it and step on it. So I'm going to put you on this side cam so you can see me working down the edge and seeing how I line things up. So I'm going to switch my channel locks now. And I'm working down the side. There goes the GoPro again. I think it's overheating. Anyway, so I have my pre-stitched line and I can see my line. So as I'm stitching down here, I'm just making sure that this fabric is within about a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch of that pre-stitched line. Okay, let me adjust this. There we go. And now the same thing here. If my quilt has extra fullness on the top, I'm just going to apply pressure where I already stitched. Whether you're stitching right to left or left to right, wherever you stitched before, just putting that little bit of pressure will help ease in that fullness. So I'm using my 4 fingers over here to apply pressure, and I'm using my thumb to keep the fabric straight. I'm going to just adjust this a little bit. And we're to the edge. Okay. My camera did shut off again. I'm going to have to throw it away. I'm just kidding. I don't know why it's doing that. Didn't do it today. But you know, I wasn't live streaming, so that'll do it. So I'm just working my way down the sides now. And as you can see, straightened everything out. And everything on this side is laying nice and flat. So I can just zip right down the side. Alrighty. So I'm going to take my security stitches. And now what I'm going to do is just baste across the length, or the width of this, just to hold everything in place as I quilt in these areas. Down here at the end, cut this off. And I think my scissors fell on the floor somewhere. Unless I put them over here. Yeah, I did. Just like that. So, oh, it cut off. I think. It cut itself off. That's funny. I think it's something in the settings. I have no idea. Anyway, so once I have this all stabilized, I'm ready to just keep rolling this. But this is something you have seen a million different times on this channel. So we're going to do something else. So the thread color that I'm going to use on this, and I'm grabbing my color chart if things don't fall on the floor. Which one did I order? Okay, I'm actually going to show you. So when you are ordering thread, and you order thread in the quantity that I do, most of the time they send you one of these color charts. So what I did was I took the fabric, the background fabric, which I have handy right here. So I take this fabric and I can just lay this onto the color card and match as close as I can the thread color that I want to the fabric. So what I have done is I've ordered one of these oranges that you see here in the middle, and it actually has not arrived yet. So what I can do in the meantime is quilt everything else on the inside. So let me put this back the right way. Let me find my phone. Don't ask me where it went. Oh, here it is. And let me read some comments. And then we'll pick some thread colors and we'll get started quilting this beauty. All right. Let's see. We have Sister Chicks Quilting in here. Hey, hey. And she says, hey, Tucker and Donna. So Di of Sister Chicks Quilting does have a fantastic channel, and I would definitely go check her out. She just did a video series, or a video, and I can't remember what it was. I think it was something to do with like a windmill, and it was so easy, and it's on my to-do list to do. So definitely head over there and check out her channel because she does have some really awesome stuff. So let me see. Okay, we have Alexandria saying, getting ready to get my long arm in a few weeks, and now I am getting one. Now that I'm getting one, I'm getting scared of it. Yes, that is one of the common things that happen when quilters get a long arm. They're intimidated by the size of the machine. They're intimidated by the capabilities of the machine or the speed of the machine. That is one of the things that I was intimidated with when I upgraded to my Gamble, was the speed of this machine, because I was stitching on a Grace machine that only stitched 2,000 stitches per minute, where the beast over here stitches about triple that per minute. So in the beginning, I was taking it slower, but as I got more comfortable with the machine, I was pushing it a little bit further. So let me pull some thread colors. Okay, we have gray. We have a darker gray. We have a tan. We have a light blue. Okay. So let me figure out which is best. I don't know. Don't ask me. There's a lot of lint on this. All right. Let's have a look-see. Oh, and I got to go through this again. Hang on. This won't take me very long. Oops. Maybe if I would do it right the first time. Here we go. Look at that. See? You just make the best of it. If the camera cuts out, make the best of it. So what I'm planning on doing with this quilt, actually I want to tell you what my overall plans are for this quilt. So this quilt, to me, is very, very special because I did work on it with Donna and Susan, who is in the chat, and a lot of other wonderful people came on Zoom with me and Donna, and we had a really awesome time. So this quilt is really, really special to me, and I'm going to quilt it to death, as many of you could imagine. So what I'm planning on doing with this quilt is entering it into QuiltCon next year, if it's accepted. So by next year will be my last year to enter it in the youth category, and that's the only category I can legally enter it in. So this quilt will be entered and hopefully accepted at QuiltCon, along with the, which one? The, see, this is what happens. A squirrel just ran by, and now I can't think of the quilt. The koala quilt. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I will be entering the elephant, the koala, and who knows, maybe even another zoo animal. So you'll have to be on the lookout for that. So that's where this quilt is going. So it's really special. And yeah, so let's pick a thread color. So what I am planning on doing quilting wise with this quilt is I'm planning on doing some very geometric things within the body of this quilt. Normally I would do geometric in both the background and the what's this? The body of the quilt, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit and try something new. So I'm going to do geometric quilting in the body. I'm going to do the quilting that I talked about on Donna's Live. So what I'm going to do is start in a point like this, come out here 1/4 of an inch, echo, and back to this point. So it'll really give some geometric dimension to this. And what I'm planning to do on the outside is I really haven't decided yet. There's a feature on my Statler where I can tell the machine where this outside edge is, and it will not stitch there. So I can put some type of a fancy leafy edge to edge behind this, or I have another really, really fun idea. But that one I would save for a quilting video, and that way I can edit out the craziness that would happen, because that's a full custom job. But if you don't already know, one of the Gamble educators, Christine Priergo, I think that's how she told me she said her name. She does fantastic modern quilting, and she does have some classes to take on the Gamble website. And one of her classes was this really intricate, detailed, modern background, and I'm just in love with it. And I want to take some of that into play, and that really uses a lot of the Statler to do that. So I'm really interested in doing that, and that's really what I'm thinking about doing. But first we got to pick a thread before we can even take one stitch. So I want to pick a thread that will blend in with most all of this, because there's about 5 or 6 different colors that make up the body of this elephant. And the colors are sporadic to make the illusion that this is an actual elephant coming at you. And I don't want to be stopping and starting. I just want to use one thread color all over this quilt. Maybe I'll change it up a little bit. But this color I have right here is like a baby blue color. And I don't know if you can see it, but the thread is actually like right here. Right here. Thread, 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 thread. So already this is blending in to me. Also, I have a light gray here. Oh, here it is. Hang on. And this light gray also would work with all these colors. You can't hardly see that either. It's on this side of it. This is more of a darker gray. I don't think that the darker gray would look as good on some of these blue colors. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Right here. Here's a blue. I don't think, in person it's showing up a lot darker than it is on camera. But the blue, or this dark gray, would not fit the bill on this. So let me put that back. And then we have this tan. I don't know why I pulled the tan, just to check it out. But the tan might only work on the whites, like these little white sections here. But there's only 5 of those, and they're only at the top. So I'm just going to put this one back. Oh, no wonder. Okay. So that's that. So while I'm doing that, oh, it's upside down. I'm upside down here. You know. So it really is a close call between the gray and the blue. So what I actually might end up doing is, because down here you can see some of the colors get darker. So what I'm going to do now is take these colors down here. And down here we have a different story. So more likely what's going to happen is I'm going to use, I'm thinking the blue. Maybe. Or maybe this gray. Wonder what the 60 weight would look like. Anyway, I think I'm going to either use the gray or the blue in these sections here, and then use the darker gray thread in the darker sections, right? Because, you know, light and dark, shadow, and all of that. So I just have to make up my mind between the blue and the gray. And on this, they look pretty much the same. So let me know in the chat which one you think would look better, the baby blue or the light gray. While I do that, let me switch back to this and get a drink. Okay, let me pull up chat, maybe. I don't know where it went. Here it is. Okay, this, I have to give this a promo. Hashtag not sponsored. But this is Lemon Perfect Hydrating Lemon Water, zero sugar. This is what keeps me alive. Okay? This is great. Absolutely love it. Hang on. Oh, there's fun emojis. Wait a minute. I didn't know this. How did I even get here? See? Hang on. Okay. Blue, gray, gray, blue. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me scroll back up here. Okay, let's see. Shady Susan. I'm guessing that's the secret account of Sewing Sensations by Shady Susan. We all had fun Tucker Sewing and Quilting. I am so happy with my first elephant FPP. So when Shady Susan was doing her elephant, that actually was her first foundation paper piecing project, and she did phenomenal with it. She picked a really awesome leafy background, so her elephant looks like it's coming out of the jungle, and she did a fabulous job. Yep. Please don't be afraid of it. My 11-year-old son did pantographs on my commercial machine. Yeah. And it's so funny to me because when, family that have younger kids come to the house and then they come down here and I have the machine on and they're like, can we please? Can we please? And I'm like, absolute. And it's amazing that these kids like don't have fear of this big machine. And then, I don't know. It's just funny to me. So anyway, yeah, absolutely. Don't have fear of the machine. It's just a machine. It's just fabric. The worst thing that could happen is you have to get jack out. So if you just throw away all of your seam rippers, you won't have to get jack out. It'll just have to stay. So that's my motto. Let's see. Beating COVID for the second time. Oh, well, thinking of you, Marie. Kelly, let's see. I'm doing fine. Yep. Thanks for the company, Tucker. I'm going to head out and take my meds and get ready to sleep. Yes. Wish I could join you, but I'm really having fun doing my quilting. So, and I'm getting hyped up. I'm going to be honest. When Donna was like, Tucker, can you please do a live at 10? I'm like, Donna, I thought we're done with this for right now. And I'm like, okay. So I got ready for the live and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for bed. But it really is something about being with everyone and chatting that just gives me, and I know a lot of other content creators, so much energy and joy. So I really do like it. So, and Sewing Sensations is now in her real account. And she said, yes, it is Tucker Sewing and Quilting. So that was her spam account. And we have Sew Becca in here. Hey. Yeah, Becca, I'm telling you what, you're convincing me to do those puzzle mystery clues. I'm telling you what. I am telling you what. So let me cut this off. Let's see. A lot of grays and blues. So I don't know. I'm having a battle with myself. Because obviously I'm going to put this light blue on the bottom because the bottom is baby blue. But what will the one that's throwing me off is, okay, I think I'm going to go with the blue because I want to show you, and I don't know if it'll show up on camera. This color right here, which I think is mushroom. Let me see if the light helps. Probably not. There it does a little bit. Look at that. So on this color mushroom, the color that's going this away is the gray, but then this way is the blue. And to me, oh, this black thread's in the way. To me, oh, see, now I'm having another epiphany with myself, because now it looks different under this light. I don't know. I'm just going to go eeny, meeny, miny, moe in a minute. I think I'm going to go with the blue. Maybe. See, this is the battle I have with myself. Okay, that's it. I'm just going to make a decision. I'm going with the gray on the top and the blue on the bottom. So that battle is over. So let me get a bobbin here, wind a bobbin, change the thread colors, and put on the ruler base. Yeah, see, I'm the type of person, and this will give you an idea of like the type of weirdo that I am. I'm like, if someone asks me where I want to eat for dinner, I sit there and look at them like they just ask me what the solution to end all harassment is, or I can't think of the saying. Oh, how to solve all the problems of the world. I stand there like a deer in the headlights, like I don't know. Where do you want to go? And I just don't make decisions very well like that. When it comes to like, I can visualize the end result, but ask me any details, I'm like, I don't know. I can't remember. It's just crazy. But I do this all the time on my own quilts and on customer quilts, because I do, in my mind, everything has to be 95% looking decent. So it's just my own weird craziness, I guess. So I know that Teresa in here, she does long arm quilting. So Teresa, do you have like the same type of battle when it comes to picking thread colors? Let me know in the chat. Sound off in the comments. Sound off in the comments below. So yeah. So also, while I'm trying to fill time here, today at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I posted a unboxing video of the Legit Kits Muscle Car quilt kit that they are coming out with. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out after the video ends, or the live, I definitely think you should slip over there and check it out. If not, or if you're too tired, you can always slip over tomorrow. So let me put this in. Of course, the camera cut off again, which is all right. I'm thinking it's just a setting that I have, because I did reset it for this new, for the new, of course. I changed something, and then it jacks itself up. But that's okay. It's okay. It'll be all right. I think it's just like an automatic shut off type of thing, like our irons do. Oh, see? Squirrel, once again, over here trying to put this ruler base on. And what didn't I do? Put the ruler base on, you know. That's just the day in the life, you know, of me. Alrighty. Okay, come on. We believe in you. Here we go. Here we go. Alrighty. It's time to get the side clamps on. Wait, can I make it look like an alligator? Wait a minute, ready? Can you tell it's late and I'm tired? When I'm tired like this, I get like weird. That's okay. It really is. So, the Legit Kits. See, I got sidetracked from that. Yeah, the Legit Kits, I worked 4 of the test blocks that I was assigned. And so far, I am really liking how the test blocks came out. Oh, here we go. Something stuck. They really came together fast. And what I really like is that all the blocks, they're square blocks. They're not like the Violet Craft pattern where you have these big seams on weird angles. They're just 7 by 10-inch squares when they're finished, and you just sew those together. So I'm really having a blast putting the kit together. And I know Donna over at Handmade by Ying posted her video today of the first section or row A. So definitely slip over to her channel after a bit and check that video out too. So let me switch this again and click buttons. See, you get to see my hand. Alrighty, that's good. So let me check this chat for a second. Yes. Yep, love the Legit Kits unboxing. Thanks, Becca. All right, let's see. Yes, Tucker. So many shades of gray, sometimes yellow. Yeah. Yeah, picking thread colors it's one of the harder things of quilting, because especially when you have 50,000 shades of one color, your brain's like, okay, these look the same. All-nighter. What's Becca talking about? An all-nighter. Hang on, I'm reading chat. Oh my gosh. Alrighty. Becca said, all right, need some sleep. I heard there's an all-nighter for the cool quilters tomorrow night. Never know what might happen. Alright, let's see. Watch Donna's video. The car is going to be awesome. Absolute. So, I just dropped my belt, and I am ready to get started. If I can find my ruler. Over here. Is there oil on it? I don't think so. So, what I'm going to do is, I think all of these are pressed away from the, yep, okay. So what I'm going to do is stitch in the ditch between the outside of this elefante and the background. So all of these seams right here where the elephant meets the background are pressed towards the background. So I'm going to keep my stitching just a wee tiny bit within that seam. Let me change this to 12 so it looks okay. Okay. So I'm just going to start down here. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to start here because there's where I'm going to change colors to the darker. And we're going to get started. So when you're ruler quilting, you keep your ruler 1/4 of an inch away from where you want your stitching to be. When you have your 1/4 inch or your ruler foot on your machine, the needle is 1/4 inch away from this outside edge. So when you line your ruler up, the edge of your ruler is 1/4 of an inch away from your needle. So you always keep your needle, when you're doing stitching in the ditch, or your ruler, 1/4 of an inch away from where you want to be. There I went over a little bit, but we're not going to tell anybody. It's our little secret. So, I have, like I said, a light gray thread in the top, and I have a blue on the bottom. Now, those colors are similar in hues. The light gray that I'm using has more of a blue hue to it. So, but I have used complete opposite thread colors. If you go back to the Bargello quilt that I quilted in May of 2022, I used all dark gray thread on the back, and I used all different colors of the rainbow on the front. The reason I'm bringing that up is I always have the tension on my machine that I can just barely see the bobbin when I'm quilting. So if I look now, I can start to see the light blue of the bobbin. And when I had my machine service the other week, I was telling the technician, please don't adjust my tension. Because he was trying to tell me that it needs to be absolutely perfect and blah, 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 blah. And I said to him, I said, when you have your quilt on the long arm and you have tension on it, once you remove that tension, it just releases everything. The tension of the thread, the tension of the quilt, everything. And once you release the tension of the quilt off of the long arm, the threads go to the middle automatically. So I keep my tension a little tiny smidge tighter on the top than I do the bottom. And then when I take the quilt off of the machine, the stitches are absolutely perfect. And that's how I can do the complete opposite white and black thread colors on the top and the bottom. All right, so that quick, and I'm already across here. So what I'm going to do is this modern, whimsical, not really any structured modern quilting. So here we go. So I stitched 1/2 of an inch away from there, stitched in the ditch, and now I'm traveling back to the center like that. I'm going to keep my spacings about 1/2 of an inch apart, always coming back to the center like that. And as I'm doing this, I'm just stitching in the ditch in between as I'm traveling to my next spot. This technique, I really like this. Now, I will say that I have not, I have not quilted since. Let me switch cameras because I need to take a drink anyway. I have not. That's beautiful. I have not quilted since I have got back from Grandma's. So that's about a week. Well, I didn't quilt at Grandma's, obviously. I'll tell you about Grandma's in a minute because there's a funny story there. I haven't quilted in the 2 weeks that I was with Grandma, and then I haven't quilted at all this week. I have taken a quilting hiatus break. So, to me, I'm a little wobbly with the ruler, but by the time I get across this pass of the quilt, my confidence level will increase. Therefore, my stitching will increase, or my stitching quality will increase. So what I recommend for you is, just because you have a little bit of wobble and a little bit of bobble, number one, wash it. You'll never notice it. And number two, just keep practicing and your lines will get better. The accuracy between hand and eye will get better. Gauging how much space needs to be in between each line and the ruler and things like that. So just keep practicing. It'll be all right. All righty. Let me read some chat. My hair. I'm looking at myself. Hang on. Come on. See, like I said, I don't know how to read this. Yep, Teresa said that's how I do my tension too. Yes, so I'm not just crazy. So that's what we do. That's what I do, and apparently, and that's what Teresa does too. So that it must be what works. Kelly Cruises and Crafts. Bye, friends. Time for PJs and tea. Well, enjoy, and thank you so much for coming, and we will see you next time. All-nighter. Yes. So, let's see. Teresa says, when I get to 3K, I am giving away a quilt. Well, that is so awesome. So if you haven't checked out Teresa in the chat, definitely go give her a subscribe and a look-see, and she would greatly appreciate it, and so would I. So I had an idea while I was just talking, of course. So I think, like I said, I was going to do more of a whimsical. Hang on, I'm thinking. Do I want to do it? Let's discuss. Instead of doing all of these lines where we come to a point and blah, 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 how about every so often I throw in an echo in there to break up the design a little bit? Or not an echo, just sort of like a straight back and forth line. I think that'll look good, so we're just going to do it anyway. So I'm going to keep the 1/2 inch spacing, and what I'm going to do is switch my stitching modes. So let me switch this and then I'll talk about it. So what I just did was switch my stitching mode. Over here, I stitched in the ditch, but when I went to start, it didn't take a stitch in the corner, so it looks like I did like a curve right there. So I switched my stitching mode that when I stop, my needle's still bobbing up and down. So then when I come to a point like that, it continues to stitch, and it gives me those nice sharp points. Okay, let me hold this ruler the way that I want to actually do it. So I'm just doing now back and forth lines. Every so often at 1/2 inch spacing, just to break up the craziness of that. And okay, let me look at it now. Hang on. Can you see it better with that? Yeah, you can. So you can see here, this is where the points, where everything comes back to a central point. And right here is where I do the back and forth lines. To be honest, I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it. But I'm not ripping it out either. So what I'm going to do is quilt this a few more times to make it a design choice, not a mistake. So let me turn this light back on. There we go. So I'm not digging that, but what I can do is stitch it in a few other places. Then it will look intentional, not like a goof up. And it's okay. I had an idea, and I don't think it didn't work, and that's okay. We're all going to have ideas that don't, turn out, and that is okay. Okay, let me line this up. All right, let me see. Where do I want this to come out of? Over here. So, anyway, I went to Grandma's, and Grandma, she lives in the middle of nowhere, and that's one of the reasons that I like going to Grandma's house, is because she lives in the middle of nowhere. She don't have no cellular service, so hardly anyone can get a hold, friends and things like that. It's like a retreat for myself. So I went to Grandma's for 2 weeks, spent some time with her, and I brought my sewing machine up there, and I brought some projects thinking, oh yeah, I'm up here. No one's, calling or bothering or, asking for this or doing that, which is all well and fine. And do you think I sewed one stitch? Absolutely not. We were too busy cooking and eating and going and running around the universe. I think we went everywhere everywhere that we could have went. So I had a really good time, and I know that Grandma always enjoys when I come up there. So, you know, this design I often use in quilt tops that have bulky seams in the corner. So right here I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5. Nope, make that 6. I have 6 different fabrics coming together here in this point. So, words, Tucker. So as I'm stitching this, I'm having a line of stitching hit those points at least 6 or more times when I'm doing this type of a design. So I like to use this design when I have quilts like this to really nail down those bulky seams. All right, let me line this up. Oh, Lord have mercy. The camera shut off again. Let me switch it. I'm telling you what. I don't know what it is. Wait till it restarts. You get to have a fun view. Actually, we'll just switch it for right now. All right, let's see. There we go. You can have this view. We'll just make it work. It'll be all right. We'll just go with the flow. And some places here where I'm stitching in the ditch or traveling, I'm stitching on the same line 3 or 4 times. But that is one of the things that I really, really like with polyester thread, is that I can stitch over the same line 3 or 4 times, but it feels the same and looks the same on the front and the back. So I really enjoy the polyester thread when it comes to being able to do a lot of travel stitching and not being able to tell you did it 15 times. All right, there I just did another one of those straight line designs that I wasn't too fond of. So if I just plop those in every so often throughout this quilt top, it'll look like more of a design choice than a goof up. And I think I already said that, but that's okay. Get the point across. All right, Tucker, where did you get that ruler? Yes. So this ruler is, I can hold it up here. So this is a Grace Company True Cut ruler. And all I did was went to the Dollar Tree and I saw these pop sockets and I just slapped it right in the middle. What that allows me to do is grip onto this with my fingers and keep my hands flat. Because if you're holding onto it like this with your hands up, that makes your hands get tired after a while. So, we're going to stitch down through here. How do I want to do this one? I think I'm going to stitch it different. Okay, we'll try it. Sure, why not? How will you ever know if something works unless you try? All right? So I'm just working these in all different angles because I don't want this to look structured. I want it to look whimsical, like I said. That looks good. So I'm just putting these in every which direction, not really focused on if the points match or if they don't match where the thread is. Alrighty, hang on, I gotta itch my eyeball. 3 times, it's a design choice. That's right, Teresa. You got that. You nailed that one. You got that. Alrighty. How could I work this one? See, here's a weird shape. Okay, I know. Now, let me cut the camera back on. I think it cut back on. Oh, we got to do this again. But it's worth it for this block. All right. We'll soon have to cut it off because this camera's 15%. So, you can see here that this block is a weird shape. It's not a normal triangle that I've been working with. It's more of like a quadrilateral. Whoa. So I was having a hard time deciding where I wanted to start. Now you can see down here, all the points are pointing down. So if I would have started from here, it would have looked more structured. So what I'm going to do is stitch to here and start making my points going the opposite direction. So stitch along. I'm going to start stitching in this direction. Stop and readjust. Alrighty, that added some funk to it. So you can see there, that added a different direction to this craziness going on right here. So I'm just going to continue doing that. So I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm going to stitch this way. So now I'm going to make a design choice because this will be the 3rd time stitching this. Making sure that it's consistent with the other spacing. Just like that. Like that. So I have a couple of these straight line designs right there. So it is now a design choice. So Teresa is asking stitches per inch. I normally stitch at about 12 stitches per inch, and that's what I am currently stitching in now. So let's have a look-see. Where can I go from here? Oh. Okay. Now, when you want to figure out what to do, if you just sit there and go like this, hang on, you have to go like this. Then the idea will just always pop into your head. Just go, and look up at the sky, and it'll just pop in your head. It works for me. So this is really a quick design. If you do about 1/2 inch spacing between these, this is really going to go quick. It'll help improve your accuracy with traveling, especially because you're doing a lot of traveling when you're doing this type of a quilting design. But it's all really good practice. All right, I'm going to go this way. Break it up a little bit. Whoa. Alrighty. Let me have a look-see. Okay. I'm trying to think. Do I want to do something fancier in the elephant trunk? I think I might want to. So I'm thinking in my mind that I might want to do something fancier in the trunk or the center of the elephant. So I'm actually going to stop right about there and work my way back across and fill in some of the areas that I missed. Okay, let's do the back and forth lines a minute. Hang on, I should be holding it this way. Another thing with ruler quilting is that you sort of have to be ambidextrous, which means, work with both hands. Because the angle that I was using the ruler with before kind of sort of wasn't safe. But, so I had to switch hands, and now I'm back in business. So, what time do we got? Let's see. How long will this take? Just ordered my ruler. Are you going to do any curves? In this elephant, probably not in the body of the elephant. In the outside of the elephant, I'm planning on doing some curviness. So the elephant in the background will be two different types of quilting. Oh, Teresa asked about how long will this take. If I work on the body of the quilt, it'll probably take me about 2 days to work on the ears, the butt on both sides, and probably another 2 days to work on the background if I do a free motion design. So, yeah, I would say about 4 days. So, to work this, but that'll probably be on and off because I do have some other projects that I need to get done. Alrighty, let's see. Which way do I want that to come from? Right here. Alright. Alrighty. That's about all that I'm going to do for tonight because I lost my scissors. My eyeballs are going, which is causing the ruler not to line up. So we'll get ready and cut it off of here. So let me move this thingy-mabob out the way. Alrighty. So, let's see. I've had a Statler for years. Can't use the ruler on it. Oh, can't put a ruler base on it. My machine service, the tech man said you can't put a ruler base on it. Wait a minute. I have... Hang on. Christine, could you please email me at tuckersewingandquilting@gmail.com and we can talk about that on there. So hang on. Donna sent something. Hang up. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. She sent me a picture of a squirrel. She makes... You're making fun of me. So anyway, yeah, let's see. I've never seen a Statler without a ruler base. I have a ruler base on my machine. Hang on, let me switch. Let me switch. Yep, my machine does indeedy have a ruler base on it right here. All of the Gamble machines are compatible with some type of a ruler base. Um, so there goes old camera again, and I know this time he's dead for sure. So, yeah. So email me at Tucker Sewing and Quilting, and we can work that out. So yeah. So let me do. Can I switch this on my phone? I don't know. Oh, maybe not. Alrighty. So yeah. So that'll be all for tonight. So yeah. So I'm glad everyone was able to join in and have a blast, and I'm going to have a blast quilting this elephant. So yeah. So I hope everyone had a great time tonight. Just as a reminder, tomorrow night I will be on here doing the Bargello quilt. I will be showing you how to cut the strips out of your tube, and I will be working on sewing some of them together. And this is all for Donna. So yeah. So make sure you join me back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And without any further ado, I will see you then. So good night, everyone. And I'll read some chat till we're going out. I love watching you quilt, Tucker. Looking forward to seeing the progress on this one. Good night. Well, thank you, Pat Strawhouse. And Teresa dropped my email. Thank you, Teresa. And T Quilts has decided to pop in. Hey, T, how are you? We're just about ready to go off. Amy says, thank you, Tucker. Always good info. See you tomorrow night. Yes, Amy. Yep. Yep, email me, Christine. Yep. Mary G says, thank you, Tucker. It was fun watching you, and good night. So with all of that being said, I will see you all tomorrow night, and quilt out, everybody. Bye.